Hi everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 Lexus NX350 F Sport. Now, the weather isn't just hot, this guy is hot too. Let's go ahead and get started. We get started in the front and we can see iconic Lexus. Now, we're going to talk about the grille. Yes, it's big. Yes, we've gotten used to this. Apparently, there was some report that I saw that the designer didn't like the design of his own grille. Not sure why, because I like it. So the reason why is because the new RX, which is a little bit bigger than this, is gonna have kind of a little bit of a weird cover. It looks bad. It looks like it's not even looking like a mustache or anything. It just covers this area and I didn't like it. Give me the whole grille like this one does, because it does look good. So let's get started on the lights though. The lights are really nice, super aggressive. We have LED headlights. They shine great. I like the little boomerang that we have here for the turn signal. The red looks incredible. It looks so good. And then with the F Sport, we do get a different front kind of aerodynamics setup there, but it looks good. I like like I said, the big grille. We do have the front facing camera. This camera system has been really good. My favorite thing is you can set it automatically that when you go to a stop or you start slowing down, it will change your infotainment system to the camera, which is great because now I could care less if there is a camera button, because if I'm slowing down, I know that, or a hard button for the camera, because I know if I'm slowing down, it's gonna go ahead and turn that camera system on. Yeah, that's what we need. Or yeah, I mean, I can see how it did get annoying one time where I was like, I just want to have my infotainment on. But for other scenarios, 99% of the time I loved it because we had that, and it's crystal clear too, especially with that big screen inside. But yeah, I really loved this camera system. Now, I do have a system malfunction light going on for some sensor for lane departure, kind of lane assist kind of thing. Yeah, this does have the Lexus safety system on it, and I mean, all the other cars that I've driven from Lexus and Toyota, their systems have been really good, so I'm a little bummed out we got this error or malfunction going on with it. But I did see, kind of looking for the sensors, make sure they're nice and clean, make sure it wasn't something obstructing, but it seems to be something bigger than that. F Sport is definitely the way you want to go with this awesome looking front end. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have under this big red hood. We get under the hood and we have the 2.4 liter inline 4 turbocharged engine. It is cranking out 275 horsepower and then connected to the 8-speed auto and then the all-wheel drive system from Lexus. Now, a couple of things with this. It's actually loud. What I mean, the turbo is, at least. So the turbo does, you can hear it. You can hear it, which is pretty surprising, especially when you're dealing with Lexus and, you know, it's all about quiet and comfort and, you know, being domesticated, so to speak, or proper is the better word. But yeah, you can hear the turbo spool. The exhaust sounds a little bit, you can hear a little bit when you're in that Sport Plus. I wish it were a little bit louder, but yeah, I was surprised with how nice this little guy sounded. Performance wise, it's pretty good. The drive modes really help this guy out. Eco mode is extremely unresponsive, which is what you want to your throttle inputs, only unless you are really aggressive with it, which is good. That's essentially what you want. And then Sport Plus is, or Sport really, and Sport Plus is a bat out of hell of, like, any little input is going to respond. But yeah, it's also a little cramped in here. It is a pretty tight engine bay. We have a fairly large turbo back there. Yeah, it's pretty close quarters in here. But overall, it was definitely a great drivetrain. The transmission is really good at shifting, no issues there. And finding the right gear is really good. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have a nice big 20-inch wheel that has that gloss black finish to it. It looks really, really good. It is wrapped in the Bridgestone 235/50 tire, and this setup has been really good. It's actually a pretty big size combo, but it still looks good in this. It doesn't look oversized. It doesn't look too small. It looks perfect in this vehicle. And a couple of things. The tires have been really good, super quiet, super grippy as well, paired up with the all-wheel drive system that this has. And the suspension, because this is the F Sport, it does give you the adaptive suspension when you put it in that Sport Plus. Tightens things up a little bit, and you can feel it, and it's really rewarding feel as well. But yeah, overall, the brakes have been really good in this. It's a good setup. I love the way that this looks and really feels as well. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see this looks like a beefy, like oversized hatchback. It's a CUV, yes, I know, but it just looks meaner than that. But I do like the side profile. It's really, really nice. We get started in the front and we can see that headlight just kind of peeking out a little bit. We have the nice 20-inch wheels. Again, you guys can see, even though they're 20s, they look really good in this. They're not too big, like I said, and not too small either. Because this is the F Sport, we're gonna get some F Sport goodies. We get the kind of that fender cover here. It is going to be the color of the vehicle there. I don't know. I'm kind of torn by it because I think it would probably look a little bit more aggressive if it were like that same black that we have down here, but it still looks good. We have that F Sport badge in there to let people know this is a little bit more fun or it looks better. Actually, no, it does still have some performance things. So yeah, we have a little bit there. We have the mirrors here. We have that camera system, which is just so good in this. And we have the black, kind of the chrome, the black chrome framing around this. It looks so good. I love it. Big doors, both in the front and the rear. We have some nice styling cues back there. And we have the roof rails up here for, you know, additional toys to have fun with this. Now I have the key fob in my pocket, so I'll go ahead and put my hand here, and it immediately senses that I have my hand, and then I can pull. Now, what I'm liking about this is there is a little button in here, but because of my force of me pulling, it made me push the button. So yeah, I like that. I like that we're not having a moving handle that can break. We just have a simple button in there that we can just squeeze and get this guy open. And we'll talk about that same kind of concept with the door handle inside when we go for a ride. But yeah, that is good there. We have a little indentation there to get that locked. And then we'll try the back. Yeah, immediately you could hear and see that it was gonna let us unlock it. Same button concept here. Makes it easy for the kiddos. My kid was actually able to open this up and get in a lot easier because he's not having to put force on having to pull a handle. So great little thing for a small detail, but definitely an improvement for families, really getting your little guys in. But yeah, you can also lock from the back there and you're set. Speaking about the back, let's go ahead and see what we have back there. We get to the back and it looks so good. So first, redesigned badging. So rebadging. Yeah, so we no longer have the Lexus L back here. This is how you can tell it's the newer models when you have the Lexus word spelled out. It looks good. I like the font, small detail, but it makes it gives it such a classy look to it. It really does. I like that. And now giving it kind of a classic look to it is this really long light bar here, which kind of reminds me of like the 80s where you had like kind of the connecting lights from one to the other. So yeah, this guy looks really good. And speaking about those taillights, they are really good. I like that they come out of the body and are actually part of the design line with this. So nice design with the LED system there. But yeah, it's a nice rear. Again, we have the NX350 and the all-wheel drive badging there. No visibility issues, rear wiper, really nothing wrong with this rear. except we have no exhaust tips. Yeah, you have the F Sport. Give us something. Give us black, black exhaust tips, something. At least just give us one. But yeah, it's kind of lacking down there. That's probably the only thing I would say I don't really like about this. Now, this does have that one gimmick that I always hate, that I can never get going in any car except this one. So currently I am 4 for 4 at getting this to work. So I'm surprised, Lexus, and yeah, let's get to it. So let's make that 5-5. We are 5 for 5 at doing that. So it does have a kick sensor down there in order for you to open up the trunk. And when you do, dear Lord, there is a ton of space in this tiny CUV. I am surprised. There is, yeah, and I say tiny regarding this overall space, but there is a lot of space back here. I'm surprised. I have, my camera gear is literally taking up about less than a third of this trunk area, which is good, because usually I've had significantly bigger SUVs where it's taking up over half the space back here. So it's good, and it doesn't sacrifice in the back seat. Now, the other thing I really like about this is that you don't only have what you see, but also what you don't see. So there is a fairly deep compartment, because yeah, you still have this cover, which is good, and you can see very easy to take off. But having the fact that you if you don't want to have that, or you don't want to have something really exposed completely, yeah, that'll help cover it. And then you still have a ton more space for things. So I'm super impressed with this. 5 for 5, right? Let's go for 6. That is so impressive. And as you can see, I'm at an angle. I've tried from, it's pretty good. It's really, really good. Now, this is where I'm gonna, yeah, not like this. There is no remote start. It is extremely hot right now. I am sweating and I need to cool that car down, and I don't have the option. It sucks. I have to have an app. I have to have a subscription, I believe, with Lexus. But either way, I don't want it to be on that. Just give it to me on the key fob. Just make it an option. Charge me up front. Charge me $1,000 for all I care. But yeah, it's really difficult, especially when you have a kiddo with this heat. It's really, you want to make sure that this guy can cool down. So I am having to kind of go outside, turn the car on, and wait for it to cool down, and then get in it. Well, let's go ahead and do that and go for a ride. We get inside of the NX350, and this thing is incredible. It looks so good. Let's get started. We get on the door, and the door, it's something different. I love this because Lexus thought of a different way of using, your everyday thing like door handles. A couple of things. So this door handle is actually a button that you squeeze on the door handle itself to open it up. Yeah, if you think about it, a point of failure from a kind of engineering kind of standpoint, a handle you're pulling and then pushing while you're still pulling. So that would technically put a lot of force at that one single hinge of that kind of, door handle mechanism to open. So yeah, that's a big failure point for a door. So the fact that you have that little thing that you kind of squeeze, and because obviously you're kind of pushing anyways, makes sense. And it's so much better than having to grab a handle to pull and then push. Small thing, I know, but it's a huge thing if you start thinking about it. But the fit and finish is perfect. I mean, that red, which, yeah, we'll definitely get talking to that red. But it's really comfortable armrest. We have the Mark Levinson's sound system here. It looks really nice. I like this little kind of pattern it has here. But yeah, overall, it's a nice door armrest area. We get to the seats. Yes, the seats. These things look incredible. They are the red and black combination. Not only do they look great, but they also function fairly good. So it's not big boy friendly. The side bolts are a little bit on the tighter side, but once you kind of squeeze it to kind of break it in, so to speak, you should be fine. But yeah, other than that though, my positioning is really good. It just overall a great looking seat. We have cooled option and we have the heated option as well. The fact that we have the cooling today when it's only 8:48 and it's already 88 degrees. Wow, that's a lot of eights. It's already 88 degrees. I'm so thankful these cooled seats are really, really good because I am blasting them right now. And yeah, they work well. Then we get over to the steering wheel, and yeah, this is performance. This is what you get with an F Sport. This is the more of a performance steering wheel. First, the finish. The finish is really good. I like the finish. The dimpled leather here is really good. It really lends itself to being, you know, gripped really well. As far as squeezing, there's not much to it, but it's fine. It's what you kind of want to feel. And then you have the softer leather up top, which is good, and that red stitching. That red stitching is really, really nice. So I do love that. And the overall shape of the wheel is nice. Would I have liked the flat bottom? Yeah, just because if you're there at F Sport, why not, right? Just give that to me. Just make it flat. But other than that, though, it's really good. We have the shifter paddles in the back for the transmission. Now we get to the gauge cluster, and right now, literally when I turned on the car to get to this review, to film this review, we have a system malfunction. Yeah. I think the system malfunction has to do with it says the keep lane assist is not working, and then we have an orange surround, a picture of the car with the orange surround circle. Talking about the gauge cluster, it's nice. It's a screen. We do have the different kind of modes that we can change, and you can see kind of your speedometer changes or your tachometer. But yeah, it's nice. So there is a little boost gauge with this being the turbocharged model. You do have the boost gauge there. It's really cool. It's kind of gimmicky. It's kind of small though. And it's also really, really low. So you'd have to like really be looking down in order to see that. The other thing as well is we have the G-force meter, which is a nice, cool little touch. Nice, you know, we're in the F Sport, so it'll give us those little things like that. But yeah, we'll go ahead and leave it in the boost because it's just a fun little gauge to look at. Then we get to the infotainment system. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Lexus. I want to see this system in virtually every single Lexi. But it's really, really good. It's massive. It's widescreen. It's horizontal widescreen. So I love it. I love it. It looks clear. You know, you have just, it's touch. Yeah, it's touch, and it's begging you to touch it. It works really well. You have your Apple CarPlay here. You have some climate stuff here, which we'll get into soon. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's super bright. It just works. This is what Lexus was missing in all of their cars. I need to see this system in all their vehicles, but it's great. We get to the AC system. We get to the AC system, and as much of a tongue twister as that was for me right now, the system itself was as well. It was such a pain to work with. What I mean by that is I wanted to take it out of auto, and it kept staying in auto, and I kept changing the fan. And typically in cars, when you change the fan speed, it will kick you out of auto. Not with this. It kept keeping me in auto, and I'm like, no, I need to blast the AC because your auto isn't really blasting the AC when it's 103 degrees that it's registering, and I need to cool this car really, really fast. So yeah, this was kind of a pain in the butt to kind of deal with. So I figured it out. I don't know how, but it is now staying in auto off, and I will manually do that. Now, I'll go ahead and bring this up, and honestly, Okay, what are you doing today? What I mean by that is, yesterday I was blasting the AC, and literally these same settings I had here, and it was barely coming out. Like everything was, it just, I don't know what was going on with this. Yeah, I'm a little confused with this AC unit. We come down here and we have our drive modes. So we have our Eco, we have our normal, custom, Sport, and Sport Plus. We'll get into those in the performance area. But yeah, very easy to get to. In a nutshell, they really work. They really change the way that this guy behaves. We come down a little bit more and we have a small cubby. What looks like maybe for the key would be good there. We have our USB-C and USB-A connection. And then we have our wireless charger. Boy, this wireless charger has been the love-hate relationship of wireless chargers. So I love it. I love it because it stows away your phone. It hides it under there, and then it makes it available for this little cubby here in the front, which is great because now I have more space for something else. Maybe my wallet, maybe for whatever it may be, something additional space. Space is always good. So I do like that. I've hated it because I've left it open like this, and literally yesterday, I went to go grab some food and it was scorching hot. Like I said, it was about 105 that it registered, and I left it with the wireless charger exposed. Because it was exposed, the sun was actually hitting it directly, and it was hot. And because it was hot, it was not charging. So my phone was also, I happened to have it at like 4%. So I had to kind of put it in, try cooling the car down with the AC that worked so well yesterday. And then once it was cooled, my light was green and I was able to put my phone. So the hate part of it is I have to remember to always put it back in when I am done with driving the car so that it doesn't get heated up, so it doesn't get hot, and then I have no functioning charger, because I didn't have a cable in this, because I was like, oh yeah, we have wireless charger, that should be fine. No, not really. So yeah, just make sure, pro tip, make sure you have that set up to always go in when you are done with the car. But yeah, we have that little cubby hole, is really nice. We come to the shifter, really nice. It's super tiny. It looks like a thumb. It's just a small thumb. It's the car's thumb, but yeah, it's pretty nice. You have the shifting there with no problem, with this being obviously an auto car. But then we have kind of some buttons back here. We have your traction control, things like brake hold. Then we have the cup holders. Cup holders are really nice. No complaints there. They can really hold the big cup. The kind of little spring-loaded thing for a bigger cup work well, or actually for a smaller cup work well. So no complaints there. We get to the armrest, and the armrest is nice. It's a good size. I wouldn't say a milk jug, not even a half milk jug, because it's not that long. So even laying down, maybe a carton, maybe a small carton of milk. But yeah, it's comfortable though. It's red, it's beautiful, no issues there with this. We get to the back, and the back is so nice. Again, we have that red and black leather, and it just looks so good. Really comfortable, plenty of space back there. We get to the trunk, and the trunk is massive. The trunk is massive in this, and I love it. I love that this is, even though it's a small, or the CUV, the trunk space is huge. There's a ton of space back there. And for my needs, that's a big win. Yeah, so really loving that with there. Now let's talk performance. We're dealing with a 2.4 liter inline 4 turbocharged engine cranking out 275 horsepower, and that's connected to the 8-speed auto and then to the Lexus all-wheel drive system. Now this thing has been a lot of fun. So we'll go to the switch to the drive modes first, and let me tell you, even just being in normal, if you kind of have your gas pedal at a set level, when you switch it to Eco, it like extremely reduces the throttle feedback, and I like that. So it's maybe slight on the too aggressive of being eco, but I like it because if you don't want to be too aggressive, or you don't want it to really respond to you when you're, you know, maybe slightly aggressive, it works really well. So eco was great. Then we have the normal, which you push in, and custom, you can switch and, you know, set the settings yourself, you know, for things like powertrain, suspension, steering, and air conditioning. So yeah, we do have those, which are great. And then we go ahead and turn it to the right. We have sport mode. So it does get the, you know, the throttle response a little bit peppier, a little bit more fun with this. And then the Sport Plus adds the suspension component to it. So that is what Lexus, that's what their Sport Plus usually does. It goes towards the suspension and tightens things up a little bit. And let me tell you, it's a lot of fun. And the other thing is, now that I'm in Sport Plus, I do have a digital tachometer, you know, kind of like that meter that fills up. And the other thing that's surprising is the noise. So even though this is a small 4-cylinder, well, actually it's a pretty big 4-cylinder, but even though it's a Lexus and you're supposed to be quiet and not have fun really, because, you know, its demographic is a little bit older, but when you do accelerate, you hear the turbo. You hear a nice, pretty good exhaust. I don't know if it's being pumped in, I don't care if it is, but it just sounds so good. It sounds good. I wish it were a little bit louder, but yeah, it sounds really, really good. I am enjoying the sound that this has. And when you put it into manual mode, it's been pretty good. What I don't like about the manual mode with this is it's not a true manual. So it will shift. So it will shift. So yeah, that's kind of the only thing of, yeah, I wish it were a true manual. Not that I'd be taking this out on a track or anything like that, but you know, it would be nice. But yeah, overall this thing has been a blast to drive. It drives so smooth and it's got some pep. It really has. The suspension is really good. Whether you're in sport mode, or actually Sport Plus, or if you are just in, you know, the normal everyday ride. So I like the Sport Plus feel because it does give you a little bit more feedback, but my wife was more comfortable with just driving it in the normal mode for this. But yeah, that little engine is so much fun. But yeah, it's been really good. Like I said, the drive modes do their job, you know, and really go eco through bat out of hell Sport Plus. But it's been super good, responsive. It looks so good too. Yeah, what else would I get other than this? I don't know. I don't know what else would really compete with this at this level. You know, we have so much refinement with the interior. I wish we didn't have that malfunction, because then I can talk about Lexus reliability, but that's being questioned right now. So yeah, but I mean, at $55,000, yeah, it's pretty up there. It's pretty up there with gosh, I'm trying to see what else I really can't think of anything else that this can compete with, or that can compete with this, really. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Lexus NX350. And remember, find the right gear. See ya.